what are the plans now with Ryan Garcia, given that April is rolling around really quickly?
I want to see Ryan get a respectable tune-up, but a fight that we hoping in the fans, whether they with him or not with him, don't get tuned up. He needs a high-end tune-up, but hopefully he won't get tuned up, means that I don't want to put Ryan in a position where he's been active for the months he's been suspended. So, yeah, do he have talent where he catch on? Do he have muscle memory? Do he have talent memory? Talent memory, yes. But put him in there with a respectful and still dangerous guy and move to the next second fight, anybody in that weight division. And I'm confident anybody in that weight division. Now that Ryan got a chance, this was the blessing in disguise. Yes, it was a blessing in disguise. He got a chance to sit down, tone down, relax, get his mind together, get his family together, understand his mom, battling, hope she get well, Mrs. Garcia, battling cancer. He has all these incentives of motivation to be successful and to show the world that you can get knocked down, but you can get back up. This is a great time for him. When April come.
Right. So when we are talking about the last or the 3 quarters of 2025 that he can fight, if you could put together a dream list, who would you want to see him against?
Any of the dream list. No, seriously, because I don't even want to give these guys commercials to even say their name, but I believe Ryan Garcia is ready for the top 3, top 4, top 2 guys in that division. Matter of fact, a division a notch down in division that he's comfortable in. Ryan Garcia is ready for all of them. And matter of fact, I believe if you look in the world of media and social media, he had already stated that clearly in our presence, myself, Oscar, himself, in L.A. recently. So he's ready. When Ryan is ready mentally and physically, which he is, he's going to be better than last year.
Do you want to know who's on my wish? The fight that I would wish, I would hope to see in 2025 is Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez.
That's one of the top ones out there. That's one of the top ones. Could be arguably the top one after, I believe, a high-end tune-up where he can get tested, but he'll win. But yeah, that'd be a good fight.
I love seeing the fans going back and forth over that, in the comments.
I would like to see the press conference itself is sell tickets to the press conference.
I know.
Yeah, listen, Ryan Garcia in that weight division is the money, is the old days of this is an event. There are fights and there are events and shows, but this is an event that comes maybe once or twice in a year, and that hasn't happened in a long time. Since the last year or 2, we've been having big fights. So I want to see Ryan back in. He's waiting to get back in, chopping at the bit, and it's going to be great.
Yeah. Before I wrap up, just one final thing. I just want to know what your thoughts are on the outcome of Beterbiev versus Bivol. It was a lot of people were split about that. They weren't quite.
Excuse me. Go ahead.
Oh no, they just were split about who should have won. Do you feel that the better man won that night?
Yes, yes. I think the better man won tonight. I think it was close, but I think that the better man won. The better man won tonight, and the man that won was the better man. I don't go against that. I watched the fight over and over.
Happy Halloween. How are you?
Happy Halloween, and it's happy to be seen. I'm doing great, and check the candy before you eat it. Make sure your dentist know that you're gonna be eating some candy, so you can get them fillings if you need them. But everything is good. But have fun, enjoy yourself, and of course, be safe.
Right. The message today was: if you're not with Golden Boy Promotions, repent.
Repent, or you're going to hell.
That's so funny. Everything, the whole skit and everything that went on today.
And that was something. It was, and I said, Lord, I got to get in on this. I would not sit quiet. So I had to say, "Are you going to hell?" That just came in my thought in my mind. And look, Oscar's poured off a lot of things This one was pretty
Pretty good.
pretty good.
Yeah. I said I've never interviewed the Joker before, so this is quite interesting.
Yes, yes.
You know what? I was just speaking to Oscar, and he was talking about the importance, obviously, of keeping things entertaining in boxing, because as you know, it can get very serious.
And it will.
Yeah, I mean, do you agree that there's like an element of you got to kind of have this balance between what's entertainment and then obviously the seriousness of what goes on in the ring?
The key word was balance and balancing. You must have balance and basically everything. But you're talking about boxing, yes. I think, it's all right to laugh, but it's also all right to understand that in a day or two, you're going to see fighters on both sides putting the best performance that they need to put on to be victorious. So, yeah, I mean, we get a little laugh and we can joke around because we're not taking any punches anymore. But in the same token, yes, promotion is promotion. And at the end of the day, the fighters got to go in there and do what they do Saturday to make everything fits into a perfect ending of a show. And that's the key, is the show don't just start Saturday. The show starts the first press conference, the weigh-in, the fun interviews, the not so fun interviews, and then we have the fight Saturday.
Do you miss boxing?
I don't miss the physical part, but I do miss the paychecks.
Well, I mean, you got paid quite nicely though along the career.
I did, but I have to be honest. When you get those checks in your hand, they can be like, wow, I actually made it. And I've said that multiple times. And you're right. I mean, I've been blessed to be able to witness firsthand how it feels to have a check or checks in your hand and realize that everybody don't get that feeling, everybody don't get that moment, everybody don't get that opportunity. Not just because they didn't try, because, multiple things, and I was the ones that put the work in and had the right breaks and got it.
One of the things that I loved seeing was that, you were just over there speaking to Darius Fulgham, and he even said that when he was up speaking at the podium, he mentions, the importance of you being able to give him that advice. Did you get that sort of advice in your career? Were you fortunate to have somebody who, told you what you needed to do and how you sort of needed to focus on X, Y, and Z to get ahead? Yeah,
I did, but I was hard-headed. I was hard-headed, and I had to pay the lesson. So when I speak now to the young fighters or some not young fighters, just, college students and things like that, I let them know that, not only am I talking it, but I lived it. And, if you look at me now, you'll say, what credibility do I have? And you got to let them know my story or your story, because they wasn't around at the time. They weren't even born, most of them. And so I let them know that the reason I can say this is not because who I am now, Bernard Hopkins, Hall of Famer and this and that, but I've evolved around all of the ignorance, not knowing, and when messages was coming to me and people was trying to reach out and say things, I would listen, but I won't act on it, or I just basically thought I knew everything. Yeah. And I try to let them understand that this is all, you're human, and if you can take a little bit from everybody, life is going to teach you eventually how you got to move, how you got to operate, how you got to think, and how you have to prepare. And that's the key thing. That's the life lessons of success to me, because it's, my talent is one thing, or was one thing at the time, but if I didn't have the intellect to be able to put all these things together as a recipe for greatness and success, I wouldn't be here doing this interview like I'm doing now. I believe that.
You were talking about how at one point you felt like you were a bit stubborn. I think a lot of us are when we're younger, right? Especially in our 20s, I think it's safe to say. I'm sure you've encountered that with some of the guys that you're obviously trying to help, you're trying to reach out to, you're trying to give them the wisdom that you had to earn probably the hard way. Is it frustrating sometimes to kind of...
Yes, it can be. It can be, because if it wasn't frustrating, it was just talk from the person, or the person just don't care. But it is frustrating, especially when you see the talent that they have that they don't see. But also it's a double sword. If you got to encourage them multiple times and convince them or try to that they something that they don't believe in, then that could become stressful on me, you, or anybody else that's in that position. So that has to be a balance where how far do you go and how far do you step back and say to yourself, is it affecting you more than it's affecting them? So it's everything I'm telling you is experience of myself being on both sides. So that's why they listen, and I believe they do listen to me. It's up to them to act out what they're getting from me, Oscar, or anyone else, or lessons of life.
Right.
Because lessons of life ain't gonna stop for no one. Right. Just like time. Time gonna keep moving. One thing about time, though, let me speak about time for a second if I can. Time, to me, is either your enemy or your friend. Which side you on? Little philosophy talk.
And it's moving fast these days.
Correct.
I mean,
correct.
I woke up this morning, it was Halloween. I mean, honestly,
Yes.
I didn't even realize it.
They already got turkeys out already. and they skip past Thanksgiving. They got Christmas up.
I got a Christmas tree in my house right now.
I see a reindeer. I see the reindeer. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yes, we're talking about Halloween tomorrow, but they went right past the stuffing, the turkey, oh my God. Like, things is different.
I know.
And time either could be your enemy or friend. What side you are on.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it as always. And hopefully we'll be able to catch up maybe after the fight.
After the fight,
Yeah?
yes.
All right.
Yes.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye, fight fans.